All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors, and to all the subscribers, welcome back. And all I ask for in return is for you guys to smash that like button to let me know you watched this video. Share this with a friend in your community, and stay tuned towards the end of this video because we have another ticker symbol to be discussing as well in the EV sector under $10 with potential moving forward. So stay tuned for all that information. So here we are, GlobalStar, GSAT stock. Now these guys have a big contract and also partnership already with some big players. They have it with Nokia, and I know a lot of people say Nokia is not a big player. Well, it's been around for quite some time, and GSAT partnering up with them could probably make them bigger than they once were, or just as big as they once were. The other one is Qualcomm. Qualcomm grew tremendously in the last several years, and in last year's dip till now, I mean, that thing already almost multiplied by 2, almost reached multiplied by 3. So that is a pretty big company as well. And GlobalStar partnering up with these two companies that have a foundation that is set, and GlobalStar Inc. has something that they need that is going to give GSAT potential moving forward. But in the short term, there's some very interesting things. So they're one of the global leaders when it comes to satellite solutions for businesses and individuals, offering customizable satellite, commercial solutions, connectivity for mobile field personnel, asset tracking, equipment monitoring, and enabling business efficiencies beyond cellular. So they're not just the 5G and the 6G, they have so much more going for them. So I'm excited for this company. If you want to know more about them, check out their website. It's globalstar.com. So let's come on over here to the whole entire chart. So I want you guys to keep in mind that this came from way down here in the 30-cent range, and it started to run up. Now, the run up is because of institutional ownership going up pretty high towards the end of last year and the beginning of this year. So you could see here how the Vanguard Group has an average share price of 32 cents, and they own 50 million shares. Pretty bullish, and they own it in different indexes. So let's also go ahead and look here at BlackRock. So BlackRock owns at an average price of about 32 cents, 15 million shares. So pretty bullish for both of them to have that many. I mean, when it comes to that price per share, I know 15 million, 50 million is not really the exact dollar amount. It's actually, you want to go ahead and divide that. It's about 30% of that. But that's still a pretty bullish outlook on a penny stock like this one, coming from a few cents. And you could see here how in February, a lot of loading up has happened, and some positions have stayed neutral. I mean, Charles Schwab is even in this, and they're pretty conservative. We even have JP Morgan here taking a shot at it. We have many different institutional investors here taking a shot at this stock. Now, this stock is said to be part of the opportunities when it comes to the 5G and the 6G in the future. But like I said, they have way more than just cellular going for them, because they have asset tracking devices and so much other things that have to do with satellites, that GlobalStar is partnering up with big companies, and there's probably going to be more partnerships to come so that GlobalStar can provide what they have and what these bigger companies need, which is these satellites to take them to the next level. So GlobalStar Inc. has had a run, and it reached $3, fell down to lows here of 114 after hitting those highs through all this turbulence and volatility, and now we're running back up, sitting at 169. I believe that if it's true that this is being short squeezed, quote unquote, like we're going to see now in an article, or this actually is being loaded up by more institutional investors or retail investors because the hype is there, they believe in it, this could reach $5 at some point and probably break through the $3 mark. We're going to have to see, but it will be pretty impressive to see this break through $5 pretty soon. Now, how long out? It could take a few months or maybe a year to actually see $5, but $3, I'm sure that could be broken through if the short squeeze is true and if this article is correct. So we're going to read over it in just a moment. So here we are with an article that was posted on the 10th of March of 2021, and then they say, here's why GlobalStar is flying. It's screaming for the top of the market this morning, following up on the gains seen in the stock yesterday. However, no press release or SEC filings. Many are wondering why the stock is ticking up. So they talk about here how they actually have something to do with Qualcomm, which is the partnership that I'm talking about. And you can also see here GlobalStar is flying in the market this morning, trading on gains of more than 8% on the following, up on then 15% gains we saw in the stock yesterday. However, if you are looking for SEC filings or press release that may have caused the move, you'll be hard pressed to find anything. So what's the deal? The gains seem to be the result of the fact that the retail investors are building the conversation surrounding GlobalStar. Recently, there has been quite a bit positive news out there on GSAT stock, the most important of which is Qualcomm will be using the company's band N53 technology in its new 5G modem. So there you go. They're using parts and instruments that GSAT has to push Qualcomm to the next level. Nonetheless, GSAT is a leader in the global communication industry, which when I see that, it really surprises me how overlooked the global communication industry is, or how small their net profit is, because if you're the leader in global communication industry and you were a penny stock, it makes me see that there's a lot of investors that overlook that sector and focus on Qualcomm or focus on Nokia or focus on chip makers, and they're not realizing the ones that send the signal and create for everything to happen is GSAT, which is pretty interesting. So, or companies like GSAT. So the short squeeze could send GSAT soaring. So they're talking about the possibility. While the gains we've seen from GSAT over the past couple of trading sessions have been impressive, they may just be the beginning. Over the past several weeks, we've seen what can happen when retail investors band together to purchase heavily shorted stocks. I mean, this is becoming headlines, guys. The fact that investors can push up stocks. I mean, this is all since the beginning of the year with GameStop and AMC, BlackBerry, and all the names and so forth. So GSAT might be another one that's going to have an effect because of this. So they state here, keep in mind, when we talk about GSAT stock, we are talking about a stock with short interest in the 22% range. Any short interest over 20% is incredibly high. It could result in tremendous short squeeze. After all, when heavily shorted stocks tick up, those who hold short positions are forced to buy back their shares to stop the bleeding. So that's a possibility. So we want to keep that in mind. But it says here, what analysis think about GSAT? So analysis aren't huge fans of GlobalStar, okay? In fact, according to TipRanks, there's only one analysis currently weighing in on the stock, and that analysis rates the stock a sell. So there's nobody else really talking about it. Nobody cares about it. This goes back to even stating what I stated earlier. GSAT is the leader in this industry when it comes to global satellites, and no one is really paying attention to them. Even the Wall Street analysis are overlooking, and there's only one that took the bold decision to say it's a sell. Moreover, the price on GSAT currently sits at 55 cents per share, suggesting that significant declines may be ahead. Nonetheless, it's worth mentioning that the analysis coverage on the stock is largely outdated and doesn't take into account Qualcomm's use of the company's band N53, nor other recent news that could send GSAT stock for the top. Final thoughts, all in on GlobalStar is an interesting play at the moment as retail investors continue to band behind the stock. The potential for a short squeeze only grows, which such heavy short interest, the squeeze could be massive. As such, GSAT stock is worth watching closely. So I'm making this video to tell you guys that there is a possibility of hitting $3 if it could break through that resistance naturally. But if a short squeeze comes, we might see $5 or anywhere between $3 to $5 before, the time anticipated. Analysis ratings out there are pretty negative. A lot of people are overlooking this and they're outdated. And there's a possibility for this to run up, right? Because of all this short squeeze opportunity. Well, this article came out on March 10th. If you don't have this on your watch list, you want to add it. And if you do, watch it closely. As always, guys, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button. It helps out the YouTube channel, and it lets me know you found this helpful and informative. And stay tuned for the ticker symbol we're about to discuss. All right, everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow. To all the first-time viewers and investors, welcome to the channel, and to all the subscribers, welcome back. All I ask for in return is for you guys to smash that like button to let me know you watch this video, share it with a friend if you find it helpful and informative, and to stay tuned towards the end of this video because we have another ticker symbol to talk about, and a lot of analysis ratings are looking pretty good, and articles are even stating that it's going to be the stock of the decade. So if you don't have the stock of the decade on your watch list, you definitely want to stay tuned on in for that information, and I hope you guys find it helpful and informative and interesting. That ticker symbol is going to be pretty revolutionizing in its sector and so forth. But let's talk more about what we want to look at here. So what is the stock here that has so much potential? It's a penny stock, and it is stock AYRO. AYRO, okay? AYRO stock. Now, who are they? Well, they are trying to be a zero emissions company to do the future of delivery, which is, you could see these small little trucks here. You can see them in the background. They're trying to be more in like the golf courses, like the hospitality, and then also doing like little food trucks and stuff like that, shaping the whole entire industry of delivering small packages or anything like that locally, probably is what I'm trying to see here. That's what they're really focusing on and trying to do a zero carbon footprint initiative, right? That's their true goal. You can kind of see the golf course here kind of style, and then you can kind of see in the background it looks like a campus. So when we go down here, they're looking to be in campuses, hotels and resorts, food and beverage retail, and probably even the government. And that's exactly what they're trying to do right now. So if they go ahead and get into this initiative and jump on the boat with what their goal is, which we're going to look at an article right now, they're already incorporating themselves into the government, and it's going to change the way things are delivered and done. And this AYRO company right here, this little cart right here, reminds me of Solo. Remember Solo? You can imagine that Solo probably has more power than this one and so forth, but this company here is working their way to making vehicles that last a little bit longer, because right now a lot of their vehicles go up to like probably 50 miles and up to probably 100, like you could see here, that they're trying to be in the 100 top cities. So this is going to be something where people can even rent these and drive around, have fun. I don't know. It's almost like being in a golf court or a go-kart around the city, right? That's what they're trying to do. Now, I don't know how much miles this one can do. The Solo, I don't know if you guys have heard about it before. It could do a little bit more, and it has a little bit of power. But, I mean, this company here is really taking a shot and trying to be in the EV sector. And this is the EV penny stock right now that has so much potential. Obviously, you're placing a bet on it because it still has a lot of room to grow or do a lot to prove itself. But what it's trying to do so far is pretty interesting. And let's look at institutional ownership. So institutional ownership is pretty interesting. But before we look at that, I want you guys to see here how the common stocks are being awarded to insiders, right? You can see here, these are directors and so forth. They're all receiving awards right now. You can see how many shares they change by, how many are remaining. Very interesting that they're all being awarded since the middle of last year and throughout the past as well. But since the middle of last year all the way till now, you could see a lot of these awards going on in October, December, and then right now in February, a lot of them have been awarded. So they're being granted shares. They're being paid by shares. So there's some reason behind this. It's to motivate those directors, those workers, to keep on pushing forward, grow the company, and also be rewarded through shares. That's the whole point of that, right? It's going ahead and doing that. So let's go ahead and look at institutional ownership. So there's some big players here that own big amounts, but from even the past, all the way back in 2012, 15, 16, 18, 19, and 2021, there's a few that have loaded up, and you can see here the 2021 have loaded up the most. And you can see here in February, it's where it's happened. 1 million, 1 million, 3 million. Very interesting. So we have Vanguard, Morgan and Stanley here. We have even BlackRock, all in this recent buying and holding positions. So a lot of new buying positions have happened. Some have closed out. You could see that, but there's a lot more green, right? And you can even see here almost 2 million going on. You could see Vanguard on the 12th of February. They loaded up right there, almost 300,000 shares. Let's just say it. And they could go ahead and load up more and reach or surpass 300,000. And you could see others here loading up their positions as well all these last several months, from like January till now in February. And you could see BlackRock here owning 250. They could probably break through the 300,000 as well. And when we come up here, you can see that Vanguard owns other positions as well in other indexes. And I really like Morgan and Stanley being here and surpassing Vanguard's and BlackRock's position, because they're a lot more conservative and they're being pretty bullish right now. So pretty interesting to me. Obviously, it's not large amounts, but there's institutional investors taking a shot at it. So that says a lot about the company. Definitely go check out the website, AYRO.com. Will take you right to it, or you can just look at AYRO.com, or website on Google, and it should pop up, give you so much more information about the insight, the outlook of the company, and what they're trying to do. And I mean, I could see people even purchasing these little guys here that we were looking at that looked like the solo car for, just driving around the city close by and not really doing a lot of emissions or going really far. And it's a small charging amount of capability to get that full charge, probably, since it's such a small cart, and it'll probably drive you a few distances here and there. And we'll have to see the top speed as well, if it could be on the roads. But like I said, this is so game changing. I look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts on it. And let's look here at the chart. So the chart started to pick up some steam here back in October, and it ran up to $11, came back down to $5, ran back up to 11. So 11 seems to be, a rejection point. If it could break through that, we could see this break out to newer highs. And it pulled right back down to almost $4, and it's running back up to 7. This stock here is showing some consolidation, though, from these lows down here of $2 and even down here again $2. So far, there is some strength of not retouching these lows and showing itself some strength at the $4 range. If it can stay above $4, I think this stock has potential, and if it can even hold up above 5, even better. And it could finally break through 11 if catalyst and potential continues to push this upwards. I mean, that's going to be a good sign. Now, earnings in the past, when you look at it, I can't pick it up here. It's not letting me. Let's see what's going on. There we go. Earnings in the past has been a little bit negative, and we could see over here as well, negative. And then right here, let's see what their estimate is. It's 0.10. If they can beat it, that might be a good sign for the company. If they do worse, it could probably pull down the stock a little bit. So earnings is coming up soon. So there's no better time than now to have this on your watch list to look out for opportunities. Obviously, institutional ownership is not so bullish. You could see that they're not having that much above the millions, especially big banks. But when you look at other institutional investors, they're taking a bet on it above $1 million, and you can see it right here by these other institutional investors. This one right here is owning up to $4 million. I mean, I could see so much going on for the future of this company. Early on, it's going to have its hiccups. It's small. It needs to prove itself. People need to adapt to it and like it and want it and realize it's worth it, and it's going to change the industries that they're trying to go ahead and get into, and it's just going to make everything so much more different. And you can literally see here like a janitor working. I mean, I can definitely see a janitor driving one of these around instead of being gas, zero emissions, all electric, EV completely. And I mean, with the way things are changing, every little detail of zero emissions with the zero carbon footprint is going to make a big difference in the world and in the communities and just in this sector of the EV sector. I look forward to seeing what you guys really think about it. Comment down below how you feel about it. Have you done some research on it? Did you know about it before seeing this video?